Hi, I'm Milena. Welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to my spring TBR. I'm going to play a round of TBR boards, which is a TBR game I've been playing for 2 years now, I think, and I'm doing it seasonally this year, which is giving me way more freedom and I'm having a lot of fun and a lot of chill fun doing this. So before we talk about my spring TBR board, let's talk about the winter TBR boards and if I actually managed to read it. And as you can see, some of them have bookmarks in them, which means I'm not yet finished with it. I'm filming this a few days before I'm uploading this, so I have a few more days to finish these reads. First of all was Outfit picked, which I picked the Ice Palace for, and I did read it and I gave it only 3 stars. I think I didn't love it. For romance, I picked an audiobook called The Last List of Mabel Beaumont, which wasn't really romance, but it had romance in there and I really did enjoy that. I think I gave it 4 stars. Then I rolled Modern Classic and I had to read All Quiet on the Western Front, and I did read that one. I do discuss it a little bit in the video I uploaded before this, so go ahead and check it out if you want to hear my thoughts on that complicated book. For seasonal read, I picked The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I also did read this, and while I wasn't blown away by it, I have ordered book 2 and 3. Oh, and I skipped the other modern classic, which is The Well of Loneliness, and I'm, as you can see, currently reading it. I paused it for a bit, but now I'm really in it again and I'm really enjoying it. Also listening to the audiobook, so I think I will read this before spring starts. Then for non-fiction with illustrations, I picked If Walls Could Talk, and I'm also currently reading this. Not really far in. It's not as good as I hoped it would be, but I'm, let's see, 56 pages in and I'm using my own bookmark from the Bookshop. These are now available on my website, milenasbookshop.nl, and on Etsy. If you're just looking for bookmarks and all books, I would recommend looking at Etsy because the shipping is next to nothing. You can get these beautiful bookmarks all over the world. I'm now reading about bedrooms and all that they mean and all the functions they have, and it's weirdly interesting. Then I had a modern classic with a second chance genre and I picked Brave New World. Didn't read it, not so surprised that I didn't read it, but I did read instead The Picture of Dorian Gray, although it's not the same kind of genre, but it is a modern classic. And then the last prompt was for a protagonist over 40, and I read a book club read called Little by Edward Carey, and I gave this 5 stars because I loved it. It doesn't fully fit the prompt because she's only over 40 in the last couple of chapters, but still. Before I start deciding my reads for spring, I do have 2 book club reads, and you've probably already seen it on Instagram if you follow the Hobbits book club, but we have reshuffled and renamed the book club a bit. We are now called the Whimsical Readers, and for spring we're going to read To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, and we're also going to read the months after that, but it's, I think, partly summer, is Stoner by John Williams. So these are the books or the classics I will definitely read in spring. Both of them are on my top 24 classics TBR. And then I'm also doing the Thomas Hardy read along. If you want more information on that, I will leave it in the description down below because I made a video about it. But I'm going to read Jude the Obscure, which I'm very excited about because I know it's gonna be heartbreaking, and it's a strange thing to feel excited about. I just like all the emotions when I'm reading. So these 3 books are already on the TBR. So next to those classics, I'm also going to read the short list of the non-fiction and the fiction women's prize. So I have big plans for this spring. For the books I'm going to pick now, I really want different kind of genres so that I have a big variety of books to read. I'm not going to pick, if I can avoid it, any literary fiction because I know I'm already going to read that for the Women's Prize. I don't think I'm gonna do the vlogs like I did last year, but I will be posting, I think, on YouTube individual book reviews because I just really enjoy watching those from people, and I think it's really fun for me to try something new, and I hope you're excited for that as well. But I'm going to pick 6 more. When we were selecting Little, we ended here, so let's do the first roll. Oh, it's a 1. And that is orange, and orange is poetry. Roll number 1 was an orange tile, and that is poetry, which is not something I really ever get or really ever read anymore. But there's one poetry collection that the whole collection is on my TBR, and that is Please Do Not Touch This Exhibit by Jen Campbell. This is a recent publication, I think from last year, and I also follow Jen on BookTube. She's also a booktuber next to being a writer. This is about her journey with disability and IVF. She described it as very honest and raw, and she did also read a few of the poems out, and I really loved it. I haven't gotten an edition of it yet, but I will very soon, and then I'm gonna read it for this prompt. Well, number 2 is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Is historical fiction. Roll number 2 was a red tile, and that is historical fiction. So I'm not gonna pick literary historical fiction, which I would usually go for, but I'm going to read a fun historical fiction. And that is the continuation in a series called The League of Gentlewomen, which is by India Holton. This is romance meets fantasy meets historical fiction. I read the first one and it was just a whole lot of fun. So this is about a pirate and a witch and I think it's Victorian again. The first book was Victorian. I think we're staying in that time period. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a lot of fun with this. So this is the first fun book for spring. Rule number 3 is a tree. 1, 2, 3. And Dark Blue is a short story collection. Rule number 3 was Dark Blue, and that is a short story collection, which I barely own any of them. The ones that I own are all literary fiction, but again, not gonna pick that for spring. So I'm going to pick this one. This is The Women of the Harlem Renaissance, Poems and Story. Of course, I'm going to read the short stories and the poems, and it has a few authors that I do know that I've read from before. I think it has Nella Larson and Zora Neale Hurston, who were of course part of the Harlem Renaissance. And I see a lot of names that I vaguely know. So it's gonna be so exciting to discover so many new authors from the 20th century. I love 20th century literature. This was a gift from Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for gifting this to me. I'm gonna read it this spring. Rule number 4 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TBR cards. So this is a random color generator, and then I have to match the cover. Rule number 4 was a random color generator, so let's get one on my phone. I will record it. Random color generator. Okay, this is scary because you do one click and then it gives you a color. Purple. Ooh, I do love this kind of purple color. Does it have a name? No. It's just purple. Let's go to my shelves. I feel like this should either be historical fiction, maybe fantasy. Let's see. No, I have... This is an unread fantasy, but that's not purple. Also not purple. Okay, that's all the unread fantasy I have. Any Daphne du Maurier. No, that's red and black. I mean, I'm not ready for a reread of Wuthering Heights, but that would fit. It's not purple. Oh, I really want to read this, but it doesn't work. This would be a great spring pick. I'm just showing you all the books I want to read instead of seeing what book would work. I should pick more from my top 24 classics TBR, but I don't see any of them being purple. Oh, wait. This is also purple. Love Letters from Virginia Woolf. I can now say that purple is a difficult color for book covers, at least with the kind of books that I read. And of course I'm gonna ignore my literary fiction for now. All of them would be rereads. These books are not really speaking to me. Okay, let's look at my bottom shelves. Yeah, I'm not gonna cheat by looking at audiobooks. We're gonna pick something from the own TBR. So, letters, but I'm already gonna read non-fiction a lot for the Women's Prize, so I think I shouldn't do this. Home by Toni Morrison. It's not the next Toni Morrison on my TBR. And this could be fun, but it's... I mean, the letters are the right kind of purple. And then I could finish the series out. Do I want to put a whole series on my TBR? Oh gosh. What should I do? Like, okay, this is a no, because I'm already gonna do so much non-fiction. Either one of these is fine. Like, part of me just wants to go to the bookstore right now and pick a purple book that I do want to read. It's not like I don't want to read this, but I don't really fit on the timeline for me. I'm going to leave it up to you. Leave me a comment which one you think I should read, and whatever book has the most comments, I will read. Roll number 5. Is it 2? 1, 2, and that is a romance. Roll number 5 was romance, and I'm going to of course read the new Emily Henry that comes out on the 21st of April. That is called Funny Story. I've seen some hints around of what kind of tropes this has, and I think they know each other because their exes are now a couple. And then I read more and I was like, no. I don't want to know anything more because romance is already so predictable. I just want to go in and experience it and have fun. And I love Emily Henry, even though I didn't really enjoy her most recent one called Happy Place. And I think I'm going to use my Libro FM credits on this one when it comes out. And roll number 6, the final roll, is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a modern classic. Roll number 6 was a modern classic, and this is a perfect opportunity to look at my 24 classics for 2024. I have finished a few this winter, but I'm kind of behind when you look at it per month, because I should read 2 per month and I don't think I've done that. So I'm gonna pick one of those. I had quite a few fun options, but one that drew me most was a book that I have knocked off the TBR too many times, but it's an author I love, so I want to read it, and that is A Passage to India by E.M. Forster. I have mentioned a few times what this is about, but then every time I read the back and I don't agree with myself. I'm like, no, wait, I don't get it. So I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna tell you what it is about, because it's too confusing. And I think it's also a bit of a sensitive subject because of course it's written by a Brit, it's set in India. I think we have characters who are Indian and characters who are British. I'm just gonna experience it, watch some reviews, and I will get back to you. That leaves me with a spring TBR of these books. The first 3 are for book clubs and read-alongs. All the information to those things are in the description down below. These 3 are from the TBR board, and then I have to pick, there we go, that you have to pick Home or The Secret Service of Tea and Treason for me. Let me know in a comment which one you would like to see me read and talk about. And then I have also 2 audiobooks I'm going to read, or 1 book I have to buy, another one I'm going to listen to. There will be many more books I read. I'm definitely going to read some audiobooks from the ALC program from Libro FM. If you want to check out Libro FM, Milena's Bookshop does have a link, and in March, I'm uploading this in March, yes, in March you get 2 audiobooks for free, and it's only in March when you get a subscription. Through that you can also support Milena's Bookshop. A lot of fun, would recommend, especially if you are a creator. You also get access to early and new releases books for free. Go check Libro FM out, I would highly recommend. But for now I'm really excited to go on this reading journey this spring, and I will take you along. I hope that you have a lovely day or evening, and I hope to see you in another video. Doei!